I love this time in Kyrgyzstan, and this time nature is transformed. You can go hiking in the mountains and enjoy the unrivaled views of lakes, rivers, pastures, and flower valleys. Play frisbee with friends in one of the city parks. It is a home to beautiful people with their unique cultural traditions. They are kind and helpful. I love my city and my country. But unfortunately, as in everywhere, has its own social problems. I was born after the collapse of the Soviet Union, but its legacy remains in many ways. One of which is that many children end up being brought up in orphanages. I started as a volunteer 3 years ago with Oasis on a summer camp, and after a while joined the staff team, supporting young people living in orphanages. At the beginning, I was nervous and did not really understand about the young people. You hear so many stories about caregivers and how they steal, cannot be trusted, and are all criminals. But in front of me were ordinary children, human beings. And sadly, as I came to discover, they are all children with large wounds, because through their life there was almost no one who could support them as a mom or dad. They have been abandoned by their parents into the care of the state and have had their childhood and even their futures taken away. I do not understand how you can throw away your children. I know that for so many of our people there is great poverty, and children are extra mouths to feed and are difficult to handle. There is a way of thinking that you can leave a child in an orphanage, naively believing that this is temporary and that this will be better for their child. But that is not right. It's better to be a family, and children can grow as well anywhere else. Nothing can replace the family. Askar and Kairat are two of the boys I've got to know at the orphanage.
When I finished the orphanage, I was really looking forward to living in Bishkek. But the reality was very difficult. I don't have anything to eat. I couldn't find a job. I needed to carry on my studying, but didn't even know how to get into school.
My dream is to be a good dad. My father didn't bring me up, he just left me in an orphanage. But I'd like to have a family and be a good example to my son.
I've known Marigul since I started work at Oasis. She is an amazing girl and has had more hardship in her life so far than I ever have. Her mother refused to let her go to school so that she would work in the fields and earn money. She was then put into an orphanage, but when she left she could not even read or write. At that time, Oasis had a transition home, which she came to, and there she determinedly studied and passed several years of schooling, whilst also working to earn some money. Eventually, she found a job in Turkey with a Kyrgyz family, looking after their child and doing housework. We were very concerned before she went, but she was determined to go. So we tried to help her to check it out, and she even signed a contract. But after 8 months, she had still not been paid. Fortunately, we knew people in Turkey who were able to help her to escape. So here she is, once more starting again. Sometimes these stories are just heartbreaking. The trouble is that it's a vicious cycle. Many of the young people I know have parents who were also brought up in orphanages. They leave the orphanage, and without any support from family or community, they so easily get stuck. Few qualifications means a bad job, and lack of family means that relationships are difficult and easily broken. Last year, we conducted a large survey among the graduates of children's homes. We asked whether they would ever leave their children in an orphanage, and unanimously they replied never. But on the question of whether they would like to go abroad to work, many answered that they would. This is when many people put their kids in a home, and the person is very vulnerable. It is when there is a crisis that they are most vulnerable. When they can't eat or don't have anywhere to stay, when they are desperate, that is when they could do something silly that ends up getting them in trouble with the law. They can get into labor or sexual slavery, or they can be influenced by bad people and involved in criminal gangs. I think that being able to support them at these most difficult times is so important, and so we have started the food bank project, where we collect food and give out food parcels to young people when they have nothing to eat. Not only this, at the food bank we provide legal assistance to help with documents that they need to find work or get into schools. As well, we recognize that this problem is multi-level, and so we have an advocacy project where we work with the government to improve legislation for young people living in children's homes. Of course, this takes time. Today, we simply have to believe in these young people. As I have got to know them, I have noticed that they always want to look better, be kinder and more intelligent. You know, they really do try. They have their problems, of course, but there is also a good side of these guys. For many of them, you know, all it needs is for someone to believe in them. I think that everyone needs someone to believe in them.